Hello, everybody, and welcome to our final session of today's Learning Tech Showcase, AI-driven authoring tools, sponsored by IMC, Guide, FlowSparks, Is Easy, and Camtasia. So I'm Liz Spate, the Events Marketing Specialist here at Training Industry, and I'm thrilled to have you with us here today. Before we get started, I would again like to go over a few housekeeping items to help you interact with our speaker and get the most out of today's session. So please feel free to use that chat window for any comments, but please submit those questions in the Q&A panel. We have a full stack team here with the Camtasia team, so please plug those questions throughout, and we will be addressing those throughout and as well at the end with the Q&A section. At your end of your time here with us, you will receive that short evaluation survey, and it will pop open another tab in your browser. We would appreciate your thoughts on today's event. And as always, all of our sessions are being recorded and archived on trainingindustry.com, and you will receive a follow-up email from us. I'll include the link to the on-demand session for you to share with your team. If this is your first Training Industry event, we would love to welcome you. We exist to make connections among learning and development professionals, and we offer tons of resources to support your role in L&D, like live events like today's showcase, as well as through articles on our website, our magazine, conferences, research reports, our podcast, and our membership. We would also love to hear about what you've learned from today's session on social media, so please follow us on your favorite platform so we can continue the conversation. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our final speaker today. Troy Stein is the Vice President of Customer Advocacy at TechSmith Corporations. And with that, Troy, take it away.
By doing, oh, we're recording. All right. I'm going to start with something that we're really bad at. We are a Midwest company and we are ridiculously humble about what we do. And so marketing has not approved this slide, but I'm doing it anyways. We invented screen capture in 1990. We've been instrumental in 2 Super Bowl commercials. We've been had an odd cameo in an Academy Award-winning film, and instrumental in the flipped classroom. And much of that is from our 2 products, Snagit and Camtasia. Bose is over. Let's talk about AI. We are of the mindset that if you are cooking with AI, that the whole idea is you should just be able to put just a little bit into it and then bam, you get a whole bunch out of it. But what you also need is a maximum level of flexibility. The hardest part about many of the AI tools is that you like, oh, I just need to tweak this one thing, and then and then you like regenerate, and then you're sort of stuck because it doesn't know how to give you the flexibility that you want. We're going to go with this scenario in a demo here. The scenario is your CIO got fired up about data security at a recent conference, and your job as an L&D professional is to create a demo for a new web app. It is to create a training video about phishing. And oh, by the way, your CIO would like to be in that video. So those are the 2 things we're going to do today. And so now it's demo time, and I'm going to bring you over to our labs section of a website called Camtasia.ai. And I'll bring over Snagit. And what Snagit has, it's a beautiful image capture screen recording software, but for our purposes, it's got 2 screenshots from a new app that our IT team made to help us detect phishing. Oh,
So
am
sorry,
I not sharing my screen?
You're not.
Wow, I am the worst demo person ever. Holy cow. I was so close to being perfect, and I am not. Okay, I'm just joking about being perfect. I'm far from it. Okay, everybody see the screen? Thank you. Thank you. And here we go. Okay, so I've got Camtasia AI. Thank you for stopping me there, Liz. Appreciate it. I've got Camtasia AI that helps us create videos from screenshots with AI. So let's start there. As I mentioned, our IT team has made made an application that we drop a screenshot in, and it detects whether it's a phishing email or not. Okay, so all I'm going to do from Snagit, because Snagit can do this, is I can take images from my library and I'll just drag it in here. And then it's going to say, well, like, what do you want with this training video? And I'll just say, let's make me a 1-minute video with, I don't know, how about 4 scenes and a summary of best practices at the end, something like that. Okay. And I'll send it on its way. Now, I didn't tell it which screenshot should be first, which should be second, what are the things to focus on. But our AI model has figured out that it's got a beginning shot, which is going to, and it's got a title here. It's created a voiceover. Welcome to Fish Protect, your real-time email security. It's got a little call out text, all right, and an area of focus. That area of focus will be a little bit more interesting on this one. So once again, title, voiceover text, which we could change if we want to. And this one we're going to call sample phishing email. We'll call it that way, right? And it'll show up in a second. And I'm going to show the focus area, which if I want to edit that focus area, I can say, you know what? I really want to focus on this part of the screen because this is the sample email that our application is analyzing to determine whether it's a phishing scenario. So I hit update scene and it's going to update the focus here. I can make modifications this way all throughout, but for now, why don't we generate that video? And what's going on in the background is it is generating voiceovers for each one of these scenes. And if I can go over to Snagit while it's doing that, I'll show you that this is, again, just a screenshot, but it's generating a voiceover for each element in the script. It's adding a little bit of call out. It's generating an area of focus of what to zoom in on because it asked me, well, first of all, it proposed an area of focus, and then it asked me if I wanted to make some modifications. And so we're right now, if I can be so bold, here we've got some modest level of flexibility. We're going to go to max flexibility in a moment. But here we go. Let's take a look and a listen. Kuj, let me, I got one of my friends, Mike Quiansu, with me here. Mike, let me know if you can hear the audio, okay? Here we go.
Welcome to Fish Protect, your real-time email security monitoring tool. Here, you can easily drag and drop screenshots of suspected phishing attacks for instant analysis. Let's examine this phishing email closely. Pay attention to the suspicious sender address, the urgent subject line, and the alarming message demanding immediate verification.
All right, so we could go in here, and this, I think, is scene 2, sample phishing email, right? And I probably had some text in there that was a little bit overstated, like alarming, and we could make some modifications to the text here if we needed to, right? But as we go around with just a couple of screenshots, we're able to sort of focus on different areas of the screen down to the thread indicators at the bottom. And at the end, we've got, let's listen to the end here.
Urgency and branding inconsistencies, helping you quickly assess risk levels. To stay safe, always verify sender details, avoid clicking urgent links without confirmation, check for suspicious URLs, and use tools like Fish Protect to analyze.
All right, well, I love this video, and I believe that AI is a great, fast start. This scene is not exactly what I want, right? I don't think I would want during my best practices summary. I don't think I would want this on the video. That's kind of not what I want on the screen. Now, there isn't anything in here that says, oh, please change it to a different scene, but that's okay. What I can do is if I loved it, just export it MP4. Good to go. Didn't take but a couple minutes and we're great. The other is downloading Camtasia project. So I'm going to say yes to the Camtasia project, and I will open up Camtasia over here. Let me bring it over to the right screen. So Camtasia is a screen recorder and a video editor, among other things. So it's got a timeline down below. I've got properties for things on the right and my tools on the left with a nice big preview window in the middle. Let's go and import that zip project, which came from our downloads. There we go. And sort of amazingly, this Let me put this, there we go. And I'll call this one, ooh, there we go. Sorry about, oh boy, why is it not letting me type in there? Ooh, well, I guess we're just gonna hit save. That was weird. My keyboard wasn't working the way I wanted to. Okay. All right, so we've got this video now in a full-blown video editor. You can see that I've got like these call-outs. And the first thing that I'm going to do with these call-outs is we're saying we're going to work for a fictitious software company, and we're going to be working for a Hexagon software company, which has a couple of different colors that they use a lot. Let's go with that color for these animations here. There we go. Lovely. Great. Okay. So we've got the ability to change some of our visuals very simply. As you saw in some of these, let me play this one back.
Mail closely. Pay attention to the suspicious sender address.
Got a nice little click effect that goes on here, but some of them we're moving over. Maybe the zoom is moving a little bit slowly. So these little arrows are some simple animations. I'll zoom in on the timeline here and I'll make that go a little bit quicker. So it goes a little bit like this.
Phish Protect also highlights likely attack sources globally, showing you where threats are most active, with critical risks from Russia and high risks from China.
All right, great. Now, when I move along here over to the right, as I mentioned before, we've got this scene here where it's going back to the drag and drop, and man, that's not really what I want here. So I'm just going to delete that scene, and I will go into Camtasia. Camtasia has the ability with built-in libraries and to have one specific for your company. That let's say we've got a slide that we use a lot at the end for reminders, and where we're going to say, and remember, verify your sender details, etc. And the beauty of this is that I can make my adjustments to this text if I like. But I've got a nice little outro with my branding, and we are good to go. Kuj, before we go on, is there anything that I need to pause to answer before we jump into scenario 2 of making the training video?
Not yet, Troy. I think you're good to keep going.
All right, sir. Appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is I'll just open a new project over here because we're going to make a training video, and I will, let's actually hide a few things over here, kind of cleaning up our desktop a little bit, even closing off Camtasia AI, and let's bring over the, there we go. We got we have a fishing deck here, right? I'm just going to record 45 seconds of this video here. So I will, with Camtasia, you can choose whether or not you want to record your screen, whether or not you'd like to record your camera, your audio, etc. And I'm simply going to hit record. Gives me a 3, 2, 1 countdown. Welcome everybody to the security update. If you wanted to hack into the UK's MI6 database, you would probably target the identity of one of these individuals. Maybe it's Q, he's a PhD in cybersecurity, or James Bond, and he's really good with a gun. But you might be a little bit smarter if you actually hacked into Jenny. She's a contractor, and she thinks two-factor authentication might be a K-pop band. This is exactly what happened with Target, how 440 million credit cards were stolen. They targeted Fazio Mechanical, a group that supported the air conditioning systems. They stole the Fazio login, which allowed them to get to Target's vendor portal, access the customer database, and it was nothing but a simple phishing attack. Let's talk about what a phishing attack really is. And I will stop that recording over here. And of course, we can go on and on with our little phishing attack. Now, Camtasia is a product with great richness, but we also expose it with the help of AI into a lot of simple beauty. So I'm going to choose a layout here that I kind of like. If I wanted to, I could choose different backgrounds, different screens, and is a beautiful way to present just a little bit of so to present a lot of cool options, but with just a minimal amount of learning. So I'll hit edit in Camtasia, and because we live in a attention-starved world, I'm going to split this up a little bit to kind of change the scenes for people. Let's say about here. I'll make another split, and the real nice thing is that I can go back in and change the looks again in scene 2, if you will. I might want a scene that is let's say we're just going to focus on the screen itself. That's all that's going to be on in scene 2, and back in scene 3, we'll go and edit it one more time, and let's do something about like that. We'll hit save at that point. So I'm able to sort of connect a little bit with a camera video up front, go full screen into screen recordings of just what's going on in my PowerPoint presentation, and then back again to be able to connect with people in the outro. Now, as I pointed out before, we had a CIO that gave us a little video. Now, that file is just an MP4. It looks a little bit like this. Let's see.
Hi team, this is Dave, your CIO, with a quarterly update. So first we're going to talk about data security. It's the most important thing for our company.
All right, so we've got Dave. Now, one of the beauties of our solution is that Camtasia has a companion tool called Audiate. And Audiate takes any video that you want to give it, and it transcribes it. Let me actually, sorry, I got to pull this one. There we go. Okay, so here's what Dave's original recording looks like.
Your CIO with a quarterly update. So first we're going to talk about data security. It's the most important thing for our customers.
Now, Dave is a human. I gave him these slides as a PowerPoint karaoke to see how he could do. And because he was a natural human, he his way kind of through these things. And the beauty of Audiate is that it automatically detects it. If I wanted to, I could say, I could just select that and delete that. And I could do the same thing over here, and I could delete that one as well. But if I undo, I can also simply go and choose to delete all of the filler words here. Doesn't mean that I can't go and take anything else out, but let's take a look to hear what the first couple of sentences sounds like.
Hi team, this is Dave, your CIO, with a quarterly update. First, we're going to talk about data security. It's the most important thing for our customers. Like it says on here, we earn their trust by being vigilant with their data. So what did we do in the...
All right, so you get the idea that you can turn somebody who should sound authoritative or wants to sound authoritative or maybe a little bit more put together, you can do that. Additionally, if there are parts where he says like we see on here, he was referring to the slides, you're not going to use his slides. So let's just take that part out. And you're able to edit a video by editing text. I've been editing videos for 25 plus years, and I have never had an easier time editing video than when I can simply look at the text. It is really something else. Now, I may we don't have time enough to cover everything, but I'll just mention it here that if you wanted Dave to speak Spanish for the Spanish branch, or Dutch or French or German or Italian, that is an option. Additionally, if you wanted to generate an avatar, there are avatars as well that are an option there. You can export that and then bring that into Camtasia. Because this is just a little bit of a cooking show, I'm going to take Dave. Let's see if I got the right one here. Yep. So Dave's IT update, and I can drag that here at the beginning. Simply move the video down the timeline and drag Dave on here. Now, if I wanted to, we can go back to that library and we can add, let's say, a lower third with sort of the name and the title for Dave on the timeline here. And we'll just move that so that it shows up a little bit down here. So we got, hey, Dave, there we go. And that's on the screen, right? And you can add transitions and titles. And let's just do one last outro at the end to finish this off, which is something from legal. Legal always likes to have the confidential internal only. So we've got a nice little animation that gives the bumper that we need sort of at the very end of our video. Now, Cooch, before I give any couple of summary slides, are there any questions that has come up thus far?
So far, Troy, there have been some that were follow-ups from the earlier AI, Camtasia.ai discussion have been handled in the chat. But I will say, if anyone has any questions, feel free, put them in the Q&A, and we can handle them on the fly as well.
Super. Okay, so there are a couple of things that are worth pointing out. So we're here with Dave's video, and Dave is a musician, and it's great, right? But let's say you're a new employee, and you're like, I'm really focused on those guitars. I really like those guitars. Those are really great. And you're not paying attention to what Dave is saying. So a couple things that we can do to help people pay attention to good old Dave. We're going to first go to some of our visual effects, and we've got an AI enabled tool called background removal, and I will simply drag it onto Dave, and Dave has beautifully disappeared. Don't worry, we can put backgrounds in there in a minute. If we want to then go and add, let's say, some captions on here to help people once again focus on Dave, we will drag that down onto the timeline, and it just begins to listen to what Dave said, and with some beautiful AI captions, which, by the way, these captions are running locally, meaning that they don't go out to the internet to be able to pick up these transcriptions. If I want to, I can go and make adjustments to this. So that it's highlighting things, and maybe I'm going to make sure that it uses our branding colors during that highlight. If I needed to, I could go in here and insert a track below. If I was thinking about, well, let's go back into our library and let's put our background. Hold on, let me drag that all the way down to the bottom. And we might have a background that looks a little bit like that. But, basically any background, and Camtasia has a library with lots and lots of beautiful dynamic backgrounds. All right, a couple of last things. I wish we had time for everything, but as a gentle reminder, we do have background removal of images. We've got background removal in audio. Avatars, AI voices. So if for whatever reason my voice isn't working well today, I can select a bunch of beautiful voices from that take a script and allow you to generate a video from it. Audio transcription, as we've seen, AI translation, which we only reference. There's the text-based editing, which we showed, AI image creation, the hesitation removals, the AI script writing is in there as well as AI generated titles and descriptions. Cooj, any last questions before we jump off to our last slide?
I think, maybe one thing, it was covered in the chat, but for everyone else, Troy, you showed the background removal, and there was a question of flexibility with backgrounds. Can we put in different backgrounds that aren't there? I think one area we could is we also have some assets with backgrounds, but other files as well that can be brought in and used as background.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just do this. let's see if the, oh, you know what? Shoot, it was right there. There we go. Let's say Dave is talking about flying, and wait for just a second while that comes down, right? But if Dave was, maybe he's working for the IT security at an airlines, obviously looks a little bit funky, but you get the idea there, that you can do a search here, and maybe you're talking about a bank, and let's see if we can find either some there's footage or visuals. Let's drag that down here and replace the old one and see what kind of bank footage comes up here. So it's quite nice to be able to have lots of options here with Camtasia. And this is why from our perspective, it's quite about maximum flexibility. We love that AI can give us a fast start. We love that Camtasia.ai can move us there so quickly, or that Camtasia with its layouts or with its AI removal of background, that it gives you something really great. But we want you to have the full flexibility, which is why we've put all of these AI-enabled features in there to move you along. If you would like to learn more, techsmith.com/Camtasia for our desktop application, and Camtasia.ai, which is our labs tool that we started with. And if anybody is in Berlin, come on by for milk and cookies. Just email me at t.stein@techsmith.com. I'd love to say hi. I've got 20 plus years in video and learning and development. Love to be able to swap stories with you. Thanks a bunch, everybody. And Liz, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yes, it's funny you said the milk and cookies, because we talked about that internally, and they were like, should we like put this on here? Like, is he really offering milk and cookies? So our
come on
down. Well, with that, thank you so much, Troy. This was an amazing demo, really great questions. So I really appreciate you taking us through your product.
Thank you. Appreciate the time. And thanks for everybody for joining us.
Well, with that, I will give everybody a couple minutes back in their day, but I will have a few more shout outs. So I just wanted to give a major shout out to all of our dynamic speakers and our sponsors, IMC, Camtasia, FlowSparks, Is Easy, and Guide. And additionally, all of our sessions today are pre-qualified for a credit hour by SHRM, HRCI, ISPI, and CBTM. So you can send an email to me. I'll put it down in the chat. Just copy and paste that, and just let me know how many sessions you joined today, and I will send you those codes. Additionally, I would love to see you in Milwaukee this fall for our first in-person 2025 Training Industry Strategy Summit. You can collaborate with peers and industry experts and thought leaders as you build, refine, and future-proof your organizational learning strategies. So this is more than a conference. It is truly a working session for learning leaders who want to align learning with business outcome. So you can learn more at summit.trainingindustry.com. Additionally, optimize your organization's learning technology lifecycle for lasting business impact by gaining an in-depth understanding of how to select, purchase, implement, maintain, and retire learning technologies with the Managing Learning Technology Certificate. One last reminder that the survey will pop open in that browser upon exiting, and we would greatly welcome your feedback. Thank you all for joining us today. Until next time, I am Liz. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you all very soon. Bye, everybody.